All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. So we're here today on the National Day of Action to demand the restoration of recent federal funding cuts to community-based violence prevention and intervention programs and other Department of Justice grants. Shout out to all the peacemakers here behind us. A big part of public safety, keeping LA safe, but also shout out to our partners nationally who are holding press conferences around the country to lift up the voices and the work of frontline CVI workers who are essential to public safety. Shout outs to our folks in Washington, D.C., Cleveland, Newark, Baton Rouge, Newport News, and right up here up north in Oakland. On April 22nd, the Trump administration and the Department of Justice terminated $811 million in grants. Those are dollars that were coming to our communities for public safety. Over 16 million of that funding was for LA County alone. These funding cuts have far-reaching consequences threatening safety in communities across America. CVI-PI funding supports trusted community-based organizations doing frontline violence prevention work in LA and across the country. Nearly $9 million of CVI-PI funding that supports life-saving work has been cut from communities such as South LA, Long Beach, Watts, and other high-need areas. These cuts happen suddenly without warning. Organizations have been left in crisis, workers have been laid off or working without pay. Communities are now at greater risk. This work has been proven to save lives. These are not optional services. They are essential to public safety, essential. We are calling on the Trump administration and the DOJ to immediately restore cancel funding, reaffirm their commitment to community-based public safety, and we won't stop until this funding is reinstated and our communities receive the support they deserve. So at this point, I want to introduce a champion in the city of LA, an ally, a partner, and a friend, Councilmember Ulises Hernandez.
How y'all doing today? Nah, fam, let them hear you in DC. Let them know how important this is. How you doing today? That's right. Thank you so much to the Urban Peace Institute, Centro CHA, Advocates for Peace and Urban Unity, Community-Based Public Safety Collective, all of you, and all the community intervention workers and organizations that made time to be here today to speak up for community safety here in LA. These cuts to community violence intervention and community safety programs are calculated attacks on Black and Brown communities, on poor folks, on queer and trans folks, on people living at the intersections of harm and neglect, people this administration has never cared about. The Trump administration gutted grants midstream. No warning, no transition plan, nothing. They pulled the plug on the programs that are effective and that are achieving results and reducing violence without relying on more police or more prisons. Programs that helped survivors, that kept families together, programs that got people into treatment instead of jail, programs that connected people coming home from prison and jail with housing, healing, dignity, resources, jobs, and community. And why? Because these programs didn't align with their priorities. Let me translate that for you. Trump's DOJ doesn't want prevention. They want punishment. They want the power to put our people back into prisons and jails like we've already experienced. They don't want healing. They want handcuffs. They don't want to fund freedom. They want to fund fascism. That's what this is. They say they want to reduce crime, but they cut programs that actually do that. They say they want to protect kids, but they defunded services that keep our young people out of the system and off the streets. They say they care about family values, but they just ripped critical support away from families grieving gun violence, families trying to heal from trauma, and families working to break generational cycles of incarceration and poverty. You don't get to call yourself a pro-family person while defunding the actual programs that keep families whole. But you know what? We're not stopping. In LA, we've been fighting for and building a new kind of community safety rooted in data-driven solutions and community care. I'm proud to co-chair the Ad Hoc Committee on Unarmed Crisis Prevention and Intervention and Community Services. And I'm proud that in CD1, we're working hand in hand with Healing Urban Barrios, Homies Unidos, Soledad Enrichment Action, and Community Warriors for Peace to deploy peace ambassador teams all across the district to stop violence before it happens. because it's not enough just to respond to it. This is the work that prevents it from happening in the first place. We didn't ask for Trump's permission to do this work, and we damn sure won't stop because he's threatened by it. To our community intervention workers, our peace ambassadors, our healers, our organizers, our helpers, this movement doesn't exist without you. This work does not exist without you. You are the ones holding it down, stepping in where systems failed, saving lives every single day. That's what you do. We demand every one of those grants to be reinstated immediately. We demand that communities get the resources they need to thrive. We demand a government that doesn't treat our people like collateral damage in political culture war. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep doing this work. This work has been proven to work. Now it's about investing and making it so that it can respond to all parts of our city. There's no more needing to study. We know these people are saving lives every single day. Now I want to introduce someone who's been doing this work all across the country, and bringing this model to people who had never seen it before, taking it to DC, someone that I am very proud and honored to be able to have done work with for some time. I want to introduce Akili Sharils to be able to share some words with us. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Councilwoman, for all of your support and your hard work in making sure that this movement remains funded. I want to just say thank you to all of the peacemakers for all of the hard work that you do every day. It's the work that you do that makes our community safe, right? And so, again, my name is Akili Sharils. I'm the Executive Director of the Community-Based Public Safety Collective. We're a national training and technical assistance provider to community violence intervention organizations in cities across the country. Over the past 3 years, the collective has been the lead technical assistance provider on the Community Violence Intervention Prevention Initiative. We served 95 grantees through this initiative. And last Tuesday, on the 22nd, we too got a letter from the Trump administration counseling all of our TTA services to the 95 grantees that we provide services for. Now, it's one thing to move dollars to community-based organizations to provide CVI services. And for states and cities and law enforcement and some of the community-based agencies, this is the first time that they've ever provided the service. So technical assistance becomes extremely important in terms of developing, and implementing programs with fidelity to make sure that we're actually reducing violence and crime in cities. So counseling the TA contract undermines law enforcement's work in cities, and also it makes all of us less safe, right? We know that community violence intervention has been instrumental in reducing violence in cities across the country. We look at cities like Newark, where we've had a 60% reduction in violence over the past 10 years, right? In LA, where we saw a 48% reduction in homicides and overall violence in areas where CVI is prevalent. We need to restore the cut now, because it really impacts lives of families, of also other individuals that we employ do this work. They have children and families as well. We're going right into the summer where violence traditionally peaks in key neighborhoods across the country. And so again, we're calling on the administration to restore the investment. We're also calling on our law enforcement partners, chiefs and sheriffs all across the country who partner with community violence intervention as a complementary strategy. Because see, we understand that you can't have public safety without the public family. And so sheriffs and chiefs, we need you to reach out to the administration and let them know that you need your partners in the community to keep violence low. And we need to have, we also need to put a call out to Congress and have all of our Congress people to call the administration to put pressure on the Attorney General to make sure that they restore this investment. And so with that, I'm going to turn it back over to my brother, and thank you all so much, for being here to support the CVI movement today.
And now we're going to bring up Cindy Sahagun from Centro Cha in Long Beach.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cindy Sagun, and I am a CVI Programs Manager of Centro Cha. I am here today as someone who is currently serving the community I was born and raised in. Centro Cha has been a rooted organization in the city of Long Beach. Over the past 30 years, we've been providing services, resources, and community-based solutions for decades. We've been serving our communities with violence prevention, immigration support, health equity, education access, reentry and workforce services, and being advocates for our community. The abrupt cancellation of these funds threatens to disrupt critical frontline interventions, jeopardizing employment with these organizations, and dismantles programs vital to communities disproportionately affected by violence. These programs are proven to save lives, strengthen neighborhoods, and provide pathways out of violence for those who need it most. With this opportunity that we received by the Department of Justice in 2022, we had the opportunity to convene the One Long Beach Collaborative that has over 45 members in the city of Long Beach, including 12 organizations that we subgranted. Through this collaborative, we were able to advocate for safe passages on the west side and do a year-round approach to youth development programs, doing a summer safety initiative where we worked locally with our youth and providing them summer employment opportunities in the west side. This is what this decision impacts. It disrupts positive impacts, turning youth lives around, and it prevents us from giving opportunities to survivors healing through, for survivors healing through culturally grounded programs. Community safety comes from investment, not punishment or surveillance. Today, we are here to call on the continued support on the local, county, state, federal to support this work. We urge the current administration and the Department of Justice to restore and expand funding for community safety programs immediately. Our communities deserve investment, not neglect. Again, please protect CVI now.
We're gonna bring up a peacemaker, South LA, from Advocates for Peace and Urban Unity. They have been impacted by these cuts as well. Kevin Twin Orange.
Morning. Yes, and my name, like you said, my name is Kevin Orange. Everybody call me Twin, and I'm a representative to all the communities and all the survivors and all the victims that lost their life through gun violence. And so I'm happy to be here in front of, just imagine this, y'all, from the community to the steps of the county and the city. We here. Yeah. You happy to be here? Okay. Well, let me get in here and read these demands of some of these words I'm going to speak. Okay. We're here today because the federal cuts to the community safety funding are putting our neighborhoods at risk. Let's be real. Community intervention workers will be keeping this work because we always done it. We do it from love, from experience, on behalf of the streets we walk every day. But without federal support, we will be doing it without training, without trauma care, without the support of an infrastructure that save lives. These cuts means the support violence interrupters, fewer tools for crisis response, and no safety net for the people risking everything to make peace. I worked in places like the 77th Division, the Westmont, where people used to call it Death Alley. We changed that by putting trained, credible interventionists in situations where they can stop violence before it occurs. We can't do it alone. Public safety is at its best when community intervention is included, empowered, and funded. So this is not a request, it's a demand. This is not a request, it is a demand. To the Trump administration and Congress, reverse these cuts immediately. Fully fund community violence intervention, stop playing politics with our lives. We're not going anywhere, but we shouldn't have to carry this alone. Restore the funding, respect the work, support the people who show up day in and day out to prevent violence before it starts. So here we go. So, okay, can I read this quote to everyone? Without federal support, we will be doing community violence intervention work without training, without trauma care, without the support of infrastructure that save lives. These cuts mean less support of violent interrupter, fewer tools of crisis response, and no safety net for people risking everything to make people safe and keep peace. And we gotta utter that so that they hear us. You know, we ain't no longer a hidden figure in these communities. Now you get a face to the intervention work, to the CVI workers, because we kind of work in silo where people don't know who we are, but you see us now. And there's a lot of people that stand behind us in the community, and there's a lot of people that's no longer here, that done lost their lives in these communities that need these services. And we will not stop. We would contact, well, we got billion dollar owners that's had these the professional teams in our community. We want to reach out to them to help support this movement. So thanks for letting me share this morning, and we stand as one, right? Yeah.
All right, repeat after me. Protect CVI. Protect CVI. Protect CVI. So thank you to everybody that spoke today. Oh. Councilmember, you want to join us for a quick photo?
Perfect, so sorry. With all the speakers, yeah, come down. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, everyone, make sure that you can see me. If you can see me, I can see you. So find a window. Awesome, 1 second. Yes, come to the front. Okay, everybody, big, big smiles. And they're big. Woo, yes, give me all your
Thank you.
Thank you.
Power to y'all, power to y'all. Let's go.
So thank you to everyone who spoke today and all who are standing with us in LA and across the country. This is happening, National Day of Action to protect CVI across the United States. This is not just about funding being cut. This is about saving lives and people who are putting their lives on the line to save the next generation. As you heard today, community violence intervention is not a luxury. It's an essential part of public safety. This work prevents shootings, retaliations, and helps communities heal. Community violence intervention workers are the ones who show up before and after the police, interrupt violence before it happens, guide young people away from the streets because they've been there too. We are demanding that the federal government restore funding immediately. Communities deserve real safety, not empty promises and canceled support. To everyone watching, don't let this moment pass without action. If you support frontline peacemakers, call your elected officials, organize, and share this message. We won't be silenced, we won't be ignored, and we won't stop until safety in our communities is reinstated as a priority of the Trump administration and the DOJ. Thank you once again.
We can take some questions now.
Hi, everyone. There are, there are folks in the sort of Second Amendment community who argue that these funds are just a cover for gun control and to push forward this sort of legislation. Do y'all have any response to that?
So CVI fits squarely in the public safety space. We align and partner with GVP, gun violence prevention organizations, but CVI squarely fits for us within public safety. It's a community-based approach to public safety to increase safety in our communities, but to increase safety overall throughout the country. So that's an essential piece to any public safety strategy, any public safety ecosystem, is expanding the understandings that you're not going to incarcerate yourself to safety. You're not going to criminalize people to safety. You need people from the community to generate true public safety and really expand beyond just the enforcement of laws. Any other questions?
Hey, very nice, thank you. Yeah, real quick, what kind of stats do you have of your successes so far? Thank you.
So far in the city of LA, compared to last year, specifically in the grid zones where there are violence intervention and prevention dollars invested, there's been a 46% drop in homicides, specifically in the areas where you have community-based safety investment, and a 45% drop in shots fired. We're seeing significant progress, not only in LA, but across the country, with cities who are investing in community-based safety strategies. We're seeing a reduction in shots fired, reduction in homicides, and an increase in safety overall.
If there are no other questions,
A bunch of us, I think, are heading over to the supervisors.
Yep.
the
So
county.
let's take another group picture. Let's get some of our team in here.
All right, everybody, same thing. Make sure you find a window. If you can see me, I can see you. Squeeze, 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 and get it nice and close, everyone. This side, squeeze in just a bit. Okay, everyone, big, big smile. Perfect. And then another big, give me all your energy. Woo! Thank you.
Okay, so for those of you that are going to the county, you know we have to go after those CFCI dollars to support our work. I think you're gonna follow Carlos. Carlos, where are you? Carlos is over here. He can help you get to the county areas so that we can go fight for some more funds. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Okay, so everyone does talk about it.